We times that by 12.
Mm-hmm.
And we get $21,600.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's our gross. We haven't done our expenses yet. We're getting ready to do that right now. So, okay. So that's our gross. So our taxes for that particular property is $2,072.
All right.
Okay. So most people would probably need a property manager for their property. So most property managers are going to charge anywhere from 8 to 10%. Let's just keep it a round number. And let's say it's 10% of your monthly gross, right?
Okay.
So if that is the case, then let's say that, no, let me say this. Most property managers will charge a flat fee when dealing with a property up and down. So we're just going to say, for the sake of conversation, that your monthly property management fee, let's say, is $150 a month.
Okay.
Times 12, that's $1,800.
Okay.
Okay.
150 times 12. Okay.
So now, remember, we have our taxes, which is $2,072.
And
now,
hopefully, and I just have to say this is why we want everybody eventually to get tax exempt, because this is going to help you with your overall cash flow, right? So when you get into the program, that's one of the first things that we do. If you say, hey, this is something that I really want to build, I'm interested in affordable housing, we're going to run you down and start on that property tax exemption. Okay, Chris, back to you.
Okay. So on a property like this, your average insurance is going to run you, for a two-family this size with the square footage, it's going to run you about $100 a month. So let's put $1,200 for insurance.
Okay.
Okay, just to recap, we have $2,072 for our taxes. We have $1,800 for our annual property management fee that we have to pay. And then we have $1,200 for our annual taxes. So these are our bare bones expenses. So we have to add all that up. So let's do that.
Okay.
So 2,072 plus 1,800 plus 1,200 equals $5,072.
Okay. So just a quick review. You got $1,800 a month coming in from your rent, which is $21,600. Your property management fee is going to be about $2,000. You said 72.
Yep, $2,072.
And then property taxes is going to be about.
No. I'm sorry, Joel. Our taxes are $2,072.
Okay.
Our property management fee is $1,800.
Okay, cool.
And then our insurance is $1,200.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All
and
right.
That totals up to $5,072. So now we have our expenses. So now let's take that number and we have to deduct that off our gross. So remember, our gross, our annual gross is $21,600.
Okay.
So we take our expenses, which equal $5,072. And our net is $16,528. That is after all our expenses are paid, barring any type of repairs, and we're just doing basic math right now.
That's awesome.
Barring any repairs is $16,528.
Wow.
Right?
Chris, wait a minute. Like I hope y'all are getting it. Like I'm getting excited just listening to this, because it's just a reminder that if you play Monopoly right, you can really set yourself up in a very, very, very serious way. And so not only do you have income coming in at $16,528 a year, which for some people, you're getting close to some people's salary, okay? Not only do you have that coming in, you're growing in equity, right? Talk about that part.
Oh, definitely. If you look it up, you can Google it. Detroit is one of the fastest markets where investment real estate sales are growing faster than any other city in the country right now. Don't take my word for it. Just Google it. So that's saying a lot right there.
Yeah.
So here's where the magic happens. Here's the key. So that $16,528 net that we get after all our expenses are paid, we take that number and we divide it by the price of the property. So remember, the price for this property is $92,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we take $16,528, which is our net after all our expenses paid, and we divide that by the cost of the property, which is $92,000.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's talk about cap rate. That cap rate right now remember, the average is 5 to 10. We talked about CDs being 1 to 8, mutual funds, aggressive, risky, 8%. We talked about Roth IRA, can range anywhere from 7 to 10, depending. The cap rate for this one, as it stands right now, after you do that math, is 17.9%.
Woo!
17.9.
Dang.
Now you tell me where you can get that type of return. And now listen, just so we're clear, that's not going to happen in all cases. We're just using this as an example, but this is a real life, actual property that we are selling, and that is the cap rate for that property.
Okay, but see, this is why, and Chris has me spoiled, y'all. Sheila, he got me spoiled. He got me spoiled, Stephanie, Anna, all y'all on here, because now, unless my cap rate, because really a healthy cap rate for a person that is interested in building a real estate portfolio to build wealth, 8%, 10% is good. But if you're telling me I'm coming in at 17%, that is amazing. And you do that a couple times. So now when you think gift for your child, gift for your spouse, gift for somebody that you really love, don't just go and get another car. Go and say, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually take this and I'm going to invest it in real estate. And this is now going to be my gift to you. You see what I'm saying? This is how you set your family up, the people you love, opposed to going on vacation, maybe, cut the fat and say, because here, this is the other thing I would do. Opposed to going in with a traditional DSCR loan, which is a traditional loan for holds, right, Sheila? We would go in on a flip loan. We got a lender now where you could put down probably 10% as long as your credit is good. So opposed to coming out of your pocket $25,000, which will be 20% down, plus closing costs, you're looking at about $25,000. But if you can get in on a flip for a lower rate just to kick it off, you coming in with $10,000, probably $14,000 down payment and closing costs. And now you're going to start cash flowing this property. And it doesn't take that long for these properties to be stabilized. Now, Chris, I do have a quick question. Are there tenants in there already, or we got a little rehab we need to do?
Now, in this particular property, there is a tenant staying downstairs. That particular tenant is month to month, and she is paying $800. So she's about $200 below market rent. The unit upstairs is empty. Altogether, to get this thing together, you're probably going to spend about $2,000 at the most.
That's it.
That's it. It just needs a little kiss upstairs. It's in great shape. Just a little cleanup, whatever have you. Now, I will say this, it does have 2 air conditioning units. If you wanted to replace those, you have to add that cost in. The other property downstairs, she takes good care of that. There's not a lot to do this property at all. And here's what I did, Jewel. While you were talking, I added an extra $2,000. Why did I do that? Because let's just put $2,000 in it, just for the sake of conversation aside, for incidentals, right? So I raised the price to $94,000. Do you know that still came in at 17.5%?
Wow.
So it doesn't move the needle that much. When you start talking 5 and 10, then you'll see the needle move. but just a couple $1,000, we went from 17.9 to 17.5. That's still a great return, but like Jules said, you will get spoiled because the next one might just be 12%, 13%. You know, I've sold her a unit and she's like, well, Chris, why can't I have 25%, 30% return? I'm like, because that's not real life. That was an anomaly. That was a unicorn. You know, we got lucky on that one. Right place, right time, right opportunity. Most times, though, but remember, a good cap rate is usually between 10 and 12%. You're doing very well if you get that. Yeah. This one happens to be that. So I don't want everybody to think, well, you said, no, that's not what I'm saying. Is this particular property. But I just gave you the tools in order to figure out what a cap rate is and how it can help you and how you can see whether that's a good investment or not. I want to do another one example for you.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, well, let me show them this too real quick before we go here. I'm going to show this on the screen. Can you guys see the screen moving? Do you see the screen moving? No? Okay. Yep. All right, cool. So this is 1,900 square feet. 1937 year was obviously it was built in, but they've done some rehab, obviously. Mm-hmm. Last sold in 2020 for $93,000. Just looking at some stats on it here. But these are all really, oh, this is the other thing. 1-car garage. So it also has a garage.
Yes, it does. Actually, it's a 2-car. So that's misrepresented right there. It's a 2-car garage.
Oh, wow. So they get a garage. So honestly, Chris, I mean, now tell me if I'm wrong, because you do property management too. It seems like you could maybe get $1,000 for the 1-bedroom and maybe $1,200 for the 2 or $1,150. What do you think?
You could, especially if you invest in central air, because right now it doesn't have it. People are using, upstairs they would use a window, and downstairs she's using a window. But if say you put central air in there, the little nuances you can drive it up for that, and you could put 2 Section 8 people in there, or maybe just 2 regular renters, or maybe 1 Section 8 and 1 regular renter. But I also want to bring this up too. When you're dealing with Section 8, remember that once it passes Section 8, you're certified now. So your property is certified. So what they did is they took the Section 8 inspection, and because it was a lot of complications and the city was falling behind with doing the inspections, the lead inspections and everything else. So they decided Section 8 is pretty much good enough. Well, we'll accept that standard and we will recognize it as it being the property being city certified. So that's a big plus for you. If you have a house that's actually registered with the city and is certified, you want that.
Cool. Yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, so I want it for real. I'm not just saying this like for real.